Hey, this is Tom from Target Prime Rib. Hello, Riblets. How you doing today? I'm a little late coming on. I wasn't sure if I was going to be coming on today at all, but I figured that I am still a little bit awake, and I figure I would come on and say hello to my Riblets. So hopefully there are people out there. As always, if no one notices or anything like that, then I will. I probably won't have this for very long, but as soon as we get that one person, then we'll start rolling the dice, so to speak. So right now I just have sample comment in the chats, which is really part of the program. So we'll wait a few minutes. So today is Memorial Day. So happy Memorial Day. One of my relatives, he didn't die, serving. He actually was done with the Marines, but my uncle actually died about a year after he got out. He became a really bad alcoholic, and unfortunately, They lived right in Virginia, right in Blue Ridge Mountains, and he drove right off. He drove off one of the cliffs, and that's pretty much how he died. But he technically was a Marine. Matter of fact, he was actually in the Marines, and he was actually a quarterback for their football team. So, it's probably as close as I know of that. A lot of people were in the, in the Army or in the Marines that I knew, but they're still, if they died, it's because they died of old age and stuff like that. But he's probably the closest one. Like I said, he didn't die like while he was fighting or anything like that. But I think, back then, he probably had PSTD, and at least I think that's his initials. If I get it wrong, I apologize. But it's so I don't know if anybody else has anybody. So I'll hold on just a little bit. So I actually, I don't know if anybody saw it or not, but I actually put a post out. Josephine, thank you, Josephine. She actually did a really nice painting of, one of my thumbnails, and just like she did for Air and Boopy Goats, and it's pretty cool. I'm trying to see if there's a way I could actually share. I'm not really sure how to share yet on this thing. I guess that's something we could actually look at. Okay, so we're going to go to share screen and see what happens. No, that's not it. Okay. Let's go to settings. Okay, so we can do virtual background. Blah 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 blah. Do 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 do. All right. Share screen, share media, dark mode, full screen mode. I'm not really seeing anything that will allow me to. No, I don't really need that. is this thing? Okay, it's just a list of all the. Oh, we've been on for over 5 minutes now. So, sorry about that. I close my eyes, and sometimes. So, I guess no one really sees the live. I'll wait a few more minutes. Couch potato. Okay, hey, couch potato. My cousin served in Desert Storm. Later on, Johnston Island suffered with cancer. 3 years ago, uh, unalived himself. 2 years, 2 years later, his nephew followed in action. Hey Tanya, how you doing? I'm sorry to hear that, couch potato. I really am. How you doing, Tanya? So for once, Sandy was not first. Um, it's very unlike her. That's okay. You know, we miss things all the time. I sometimes miss things even when I'm actually there. So, you know, yes, couch potato, I agree. God bless all our veterans, their families, and friends. We will never fully understand everything we all sacrifice to keep this country free. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. Yeah, you're 100%, actually 180% right that we don't really understand the sacrifices that a lot of these guys make. So so I put the post out of the painting that Josephine did for me. Um, Pretty much similar to how the style, I guess, that she did for Booby Goats, Aaron. Okay, all right. I just got done with work, so I'm pretty much done for until next week. I only worked 2 days a week right now, so this was my second day this week, so I can't really work anymore. But next week I'm going to actually be doing 4 days. It's going to be, instead of 2 days at 8 hours, it's going to be 4 days at 4 hours, and they're going to pretty much, it was my idea, they're going to utilize me. They're going to utilize me basically, where, like in the coffee section where it gets really, really busy and just during the time. So I'll most likely have to be there by either 3 or 4. So I still have to get up early, but I'll be able to sleep in quite a bit. So I'm thinking what I'll do is I'll just make my roommate, cook myself dinner and make my roommate his dinner. He goes reheat it if he needs to, and try to have it done by 6 o'clock. And if he has to heat it up because he ate a little bit later, then that's what he has to do. You know. So I don't really have any plans for today, but if you guys any of you guys have like a barbecue or something like that you're planning? I mean, to me, like Memorial Day, besides being what it is also the day that everybody gets together and you do barbecues and stuff. So, um, you know what? Do you guys have any barbecues in mind or anything? It's here. It's kind of cold, so I don't know if a barbecue would really be warranted. But I know there's warm places in LA. You can actually see me in the eyes of that ribeye. Okay, I will. I'm gonna put that up on the screen. That's funny. So speaking of Josephine, I wonder where her and Sandy are and everybody else. Well, I did kind of say that I may not. I'm not sure if I was going to go on live. Lewis actually asked me, texted me, asking me, and at that time, I really wasn't sure, and I'm not sure why I did actually go live, but I just decided to go to the live. I figure best case scenario, I come on, I stay on for as long as it takes, or worst case scenario, I come on and I just I don't really worry about that kind of stuff, you know. So, I love the painting that the drawing that she did, the painting. Um, what I plan on doing is, as you know, I want to fix up this room that we're in right now, and I want to get the stuff and and maybe even do some videos on it. But I'd like to get it printed, just like Erin did for her painting, and but something a little bit larger than just 8 by 10. You know, maybe like more. Like just something a little bit more suitable, and put it on the wall behind me, like fix that wall and put that painting right there. So then whenever I'm here, um, you see that painting, you see that drawing, just put it on the wall. Um, I mean, I like the thing that we had before, but that's not really a wall piece. It's a little too heavy, so that's going to probably go on the desk, and maybe I'll even make it like I don't know. I'll figure something out, or maybe I'll make it into my new thumbnail. So you know, either way, it's like I said, it's pretty good. And Josephine, you have a lot of talent. So hopefully, if you see this live stream, you hear me say that. All right. So, um, so okay. So here's a question to ask: what foods that are not carnivore would you have loved to have on Memorial Day? Like, imagine yourself at Memorial Day barbecue. What non-carnivore food would you be like, oh, I miss that, but you're just not having it? Okay, well that's why questions are there, so you could think about something. Hey Rick, how you doing today? You had to work today, so you're not working now. I got finished with work around 6. Well, I got home around 6:30. Okay, sort of like, would that be sort of like a dessert couch potato? I mean, my go to probably would be either my mom's cucumber salad that she makes, and like later on I might go back. I might even have that later on, once things are better for me. Like I'm thinking about even growing my own cucumbers, but that or would make it even worse. I used to make. I don't anymore, obviously, but I used to make like a macaroni salad. So I think those would have been the things I would have gone to, you know, if that's non-carnivore. Oh, excuse me. So, so Rick, out of curiosity, because I left on Saturday to take a nap, as you know, how long were you actually like? When did you actually end your live? Oh, do they? Hey, retired Rick, how you doing? It's great seeing you here. Thank you. Let's see what's buzzing. Yeah, my sugars are a little high again. I think it's from lack of sleep, to be honest with you. So, looks like somebody texted me. Okay, sorry about that. So, I got some pretty good news, but it's with family. So just know things are good right now for me. Um, so so how you doing, retired Rick? And, and I forgot to ask how Georgia Mopar Rick is doing as well. I got to be fair, right? So I'm going to um, put this out. If any of you guys want to, as always, you guys are invited to come on just to say hello. This is just chewing the fat, okay? And if any of you are ever interested in coming on during one of my Wednesday lives, that's going to be a little different than this one. That is going to be a 2-hour live, and that's one-on-one with a special guest, guest of honor, and you'll be able to tell your story. I already had Lewis, and I already have scheduled for June. Because it's only gonna be like it's every like 2 weeks, like 2 different weeks in the month. Only because in that way I can do it longer and everything like that. Longer than an hour, it gives people a little bit more time. And what I want to do is we're going to do like an hour and a half of an interview, and then depending on how long the person wants to do for, and then for the other hour or half an hour, then we're going to invite and let other people come in, and we just have this big forum basically for the last half hour or so. So I think it's going to be pretty cool. Um, like I said, the last time we did it, it was with Lewis, and the next one on the 4th will be with Amy Hosp, and then I forget her last name, but on the 18th it's going to be Helen. I believe her channel is From Jesus to Carnivore. So I think it'll be pretty exciting. Um, yeah, I do have a little bit of coffee here, so I will share it with you, Tanya. You can never have too much, right? So I know I'm not putting too many things in the chats, but that's good. That's good, Retire Rick. Get that coffee and drink it. You know, I'm having mine Mitch style right now. Just black, a little cold, but just black. So just going to go into my email real quick and see. Look at that. Okay. So things are good for me. Things are very good. You know, like I said, my job is actually changing around. I actually texted my boss yesterday and pretty much just told her that this shift of the 8 hours is just it's a little much on me, and I I basically told her that I don't think I can do it. So she came back to me and said, well, what if we do less than 8 hours? What if we do, like what were you going to do at the other store? And I told her, I said, well, we were supposed to do 4 days of 4 hours. Um, it was going to be around like either 3 a.m. to 7 a.m. or 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. And I'll be honest with you guys, that wasn't really true. It was going to be 4 a.m. to 8 a.m. But I just thought, well, maybe let's just give her the two choices. And so starting next week, I don't know when will be the first day and when will be all the other days, but it should go to, um, you know, it should go to the 4 days at 4 hours at 4 hours a day. So, and it's even better because now I'm right here, you know, so that works out pretty well for me, you know. So, things are working up. Okay, I'm sorry if I missed something here. Um, what can you repeat again, Rick? What exciting news? Um, or what's happening that you're? My thing doesn't let me scroll every time. I don't know why. Oh, here it is. Okay. I mean, not the thing, but here I'm able to scroll. Okay, so I don't really. The last thing I saw you saying is I had to work today. I don't see anything else, so I'm sorry if I missed that. So, so I'm trying to think. Today is Monday. Is there usually something that goes on Mondays? I mean, Erin's not doing a live or anything like that later on, is she? Hmm. I mean, you just never know. I mean, with everything going on and everything like that. Oh, okay. That's where I got a little confused. Rick, I guess you got confused too, Duck Man, huh? Well, good luck to both of you. so, So I already got the answer from from Couch Potato, but do you have any relatives or hey Sandy, you're late. You're usually the first one here. We were talking about that. Like where's Sandy? Oh, Dr. Barry. Okay. So I guess most of my stuff is going to be like in the community, like SPG or Healing Humanity, I'm guessing. But yeah, Dr. Barry. Okay. So I was telling before everybody came on, I was telling about how he didn't really I mean he didn't die like in the war or anything like that, or I mean he was out of the service for about a year, but being in the Marines, my uncle became a really bad alcoholic, and he was about 20, 24, 25, and obviously I was just a young kid, and he was actually the youngest of nine children, so it made it even sadder. But and my parents were divorced and everything like that. But you know, we got we got the phone call from my father my mom got the phone call and my mom told us, me and my sister, and my sister was very close to him, but she was like maybe 5, and I was about 7, and we found out that he actually drove. Um, he became a really bad alcoholic, and how he died was he actually drove off the cliff in Virginia, from the Blue Ridge Mountains, just drove right off the meridian, and I think about him fondly all the time. I remember he used to have a dog that called Queenie. She was like kind of like a beagle mix, and she used to ride on a sled whenever we would go down the hills and stuff like that. And there's a lot, obviously, living behind mountain. There was a lot of hills, and um, he's probably the closest person that actually. He didn't die, like I said, he didn't die in the war or in like when in service, but he did die because he became an alcoholic you know from being in the service. And he was a pretty in shape guy. He actually was a quarterback for the Marines football team. So I was just wondering if anybody else had a family member that whether passed away in the all, like from the war, or that their memory that you remember, or even because of being in the service that affected them. And I know Couch Potato um, mentioned your cousins. Um, I know Tanya was asking you, Couch Potato, if you're a male or female. I don't really know. Um, we're just going to show the thing you have here. Couch Potato pretty much says, my cousin served in Desert Storm, later on Johnston Island, suffered with cancer 3 years ago, unalived himself. 2 years later, his nephew followed in action. So, I mean, it's, I actually tried going into the Army myself, but believe it or not, I don't know if I still have it or not. Maybe carnivores helped it. I don't know. But I supposedly have a heart murmur, and that kept me being accepted in the Army, believe it or not. So, which I used to feel really guilty about that, and I still do. But I still support the troops and everything like that. But I do feel bad that that I'm not allowed to go in. That's fine. You gotta do what you gotta do. How old's your son, Couch Potato? The young one, or and Tanya just mentions about her father. Her father-in-law was in Vietnam. He passed from liver damage. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean, my grandfather, I mean, he didn't die. I mean, he did die eventually, but not from, it was like years and years later, but he was actually in World War II. And we, retrospective probably was because he was diabetic and stuff like that, but he actually had a missing leg. And we all thought, like he pretty much told us that he got shot in the war and he lost his leg. But I think diabetes had a lot to do with it too. Maybe especially later on, he probably got shot and everything like that. But there was probably some factor in there, is my guess. And most of us, now that we're older, think that that's possible. But I remember when we were kids, he had this like wooden leg at the right at the kneecap, so it was like hinged, and he would have like in the hinge there was like a hole, so he actually purposely had a pair of pants with a hole right there, where no one could see, like the leg was covered so no one saw it. But he used to take a stick and put the stick through the hole, so people thought he was like literally putting the stick through his leg. Oh, okay. Couch potato. Just out of curiosity, is your son on carnivore to help with the spectrum? And you know what? I'm going to assume that your name is Couch Potato, and unless you tell me otherwise. All right. So just like people, if they didn't know what my actual name is, they would think my name is Target Prime with ribs. Huh. I mean, either way, I'm glad that you are. I'm glad everybody is here. Um, just out of curiosity, I know Tanya saw it, and I just wondering if anybody saw the beautiful painting. I'm just re-asking the question. Did anybody see the beautiful painting that Josephine actually made for me? Okay, well, just do like I do, Couch Potato. Just one step at a time. Just um, I don't know your story. If you ever want to come on here and tell it, by all means, we'll set a time for you, and it goes with all of you. But you know, it's just one step at a time. But your improvements, your inspirations, hopefully will trigger in him, and just all you have to do is just keep on. You just stay the path, and you get better. If that makes any sense. And as you're getting better, hopefully he will see that, you know. And you know what I would do too is, if you can, I mean, subtly, I guess you could say. If you watch videos and stuff like that, there's some documentaries that actually indicate on how people with on the spectrum actually have benefited from either keto or carnivore types type style diet. And if you watch it a few times, like different videos or different time frames, maybe it will sink into him, and he will start noticing on those improvements. Like for example, there's a guy. I don't know the son's name. I don't even know what the guy's name is, but but I can tell you what he does. He's actually the producer of the movie Airplane. Back with Leslie Nielsen and all those, the funny movie that they had. He's actually the executive producer of that, and his son was actually on the spectrum. I don't know. Supposedly his son was like really bad, like he was like nonverbal and everything. And now he works at Princeton College. You know, and yeah, you're absolutely right. Extreme patience is required. I don't know too much about raising. And I take my hat off to you. I really do. Um, you know, uh, I mean, does he? I mean, you're saying that, like, does he ever eat? Because I'm assuming he's eaten at some point. I mean, what doctor isn't wrong, right? But you know, my heart goes out to you. I know it's not easy. You know, um, I mean, they have like so many theories, so many different things when it comes to autism or the spectrum. I'm sorry about that. If I remember one time I was supposed to work. My mom and me were supposed to work to keep an eye on a kid that was autistic, and and he was pretty, and we actually had to let him. That was kind of the condition. You had to let him do whatever. Like if you want to pull your hair, we had to never say no to never say no or anything like that. It just seemed a little, I don't know, like this. I don't know if that's the right thing or not, but it just seemed that it really, you know, I mean, I could be wrong, but it just didn't seem right to do, to do a job like that. Um, but when I used to do tuxedos, we actually had this organization called the Eden House, and they would have like a big formal get together, and I'd be measuring a lot of, it'd be different spectrums and stuff like that, and they were the sweetest. Um, Even the ones that were nonverbal and stuff like that were the sweetest people I ever. It was like such a pleasure to measure them and to and get them the tuxedos that they wanted and everything. It was just, you know, yeah, no, I agree with that. So he likes pork rinds. That's pretty good. You know, does he does he does he like anything with the pork rinds? Like, does he like it with sour cream? Does he, or do you just eat it like potato chips? Yeah, I think RFK, you know, is going to. I don't know if RFK is going to be given enough time to really change the world. But what I do think is, being who he is, I think that, he is going to make us aware of certain foods. And if we know the list and all that stuff, that might. Oh God, that's really good with pork rinds. Does How does he like it when you put the hot sauce on the pork rind and it kind of crackles? I don't know if you ever saw that, noticed that or not, but you try it sometime. It's like you put a little bit of hot sauce on it, and the pork rind will actually crackle a little bit, like almost like snap, crackle, and pop. So So I'm going to put it in here again. Like I said, this is not. This is just putting it out there. Okay. All right. So if you want to come on, say hello. That's fine. Um, anybody is invited, and I saw that someone do that the other day, Tanya. I saw, yeah, where they put in the milk and they had it as cereal. But I can't think of whose channel that was on. I thought, boy, that's interesting. Well, I don't know. I wonder what made him think to do that. Because it's not. If you think about it, it's not. No, it's well. I'm not going to say it's not normal, but it's kind of unusual. It's not very common to think of pork rinds as a cereal. Just to me, it's more of a potato chip. But if it tastes good, why not? Oh my god, excuse me. So, okay. Well, I'll be honest with you, couch potato. I never had takis. Um, at least that's how I think you pronounce it. I never, but it looks like it would be kind of similar to the pork rind. So I could see that. That would be kind of like an easy switch over. You might as well. Yeah. Yeah, any little thing you can do. Yeah, no, they do. It's not exactly the same. I'm just saying it looks like if you're going to go by looks and stuff like that, it kind of looks the same as most of your pork rinds. But yeah, do you agree? If you like deep down and you put the magnifying glass under it, it'd be a totally different story. Definitely. So, so, yeah, I mean, like I said, it's going to be step by step. Just keep on going, keep on doing, and but like at the same time, don't force the issue. Let him see your results. Let you be the influence, the inspiration that convinces him to at least try it. Yeah. So it was great talking to you guys. I do appreciate, but I'm going to actually cut out a little bit early. I'm not going to lie. The working last night is now starting to take a toll on me, and I am getting very, very tired, and I want to, or I need to, never mind want to, I need to get some rest. So hopefully I will see you guys soon. And thank you all for coming on. And as always, this is Target Prime Rib. Over and out. I'll give you a couple seconds.